to give what they could, no matter what it looked like. And that is powerful. And, I know that you in your life, Melissa, have experienced people in their inward focusedness, creating madness, breakdown in their life, in their relationships, in their work. And then you've experienced them shift. So in your experience, short of hundreds of thousands of people dying in an island nation, what does it take for people to wake up and shift?
It takes them to look outside themselves and just realize this is painful. Whatever I'm doing now, this is painful. And it's to realize it's not working.
So looking outside ourselves, how would that show up in relationships? Like, what would be different if people chose into relationships not to serve themselves, but to serve the other person? Because the United States right now is in relationship with Haiti. And we are completely focused on serving Haiti. And it is making a difference. It's making a difference for us being focused on them. We're gaining. So let's bring that into a local, personal situation. What's your experience, Melissa, on being outward focused for the person you're in relationship with, whether it's a romantic relationship or work or the gas station attendant?
I know that that's the only way the relationship can truly work, or else the relationship has a breakdown, like Haiti. Relationships have earthquakes, and there are lives lost if we don't focus outside of ourselves.
Because our relationships are, to me, mirrors of how we interact with the world. Okay? Because how you do anything is how you do everything. And how I show up in my relationships is very likely how I show up in the world. And if I'm inward focused and in this for me, I'm very likely completely unconscious as to what serves the other person. So then backing out and looking at the world, I'm also probably one of those people that is completely unconscious as to what's happening in the world. What breakdowns, what inequalities, what civil rights issues, what human rights issues are happening in the world. Because I'm so inward focused on myself. So not only are relationships breaking down, the world is breaking down. And I know it's difficult for people to see the leap there, but truly how we show up in our relationships is how we show up in the world.
Because all these millions, each of us, having all these mini little breakdowns ourselves, snowballing, and then there's just a pile of us with all the energy of breakdown. It's got to happen.
There has to be a global breakdown somewhere, because the cumulative pressure of each individual breaking down is going to result in an earthquake in Haiti or a tsunami in Asia. It's just going to happen, because I know this is going to be difficult for people to accept, but we affect our environment. And there is such a thing as critical mass. When the majority of people on this planet are in breakdown, this planet will experience a breakdown. Whether that's in a natural disaster or a war or a conflict, it's going to happen. So for me, the miracle of Haiti was that in a way, it relieved the pressure of the mounting breakdown everyone is creating in their life by focusing on their lack, their limitation, their scarcity, the recession, the struggling banks, all those things that people were choosing to focus on, that built up to such a point that the world had to have an event to shift. And Haiti happened to be it. But how great would it be if it didn't require a catastrophic, monumental natural disaster for us to wake up? What if we all just handled it in that moment? Is it possible that there would be no more earthquakes and no more tsunamis and no more wildfires? Simply because the majority of people aren't in breakdown, that the world has to have a breakdown to wake us up? Could this world truly be peaceful?
Could our lives, could our relationships?
It seems possible. Is it possible that the effective joy in my relationship relates to the joy in this world? That if I am worried or concerned or focused on your rights, your equality, your passions, your freedom in relationship with me, that I'll also care about African slaves. Women being brutalized and genital mutilation, child labor in Asia. Is it possible that if I care enough about my relationships to serve them and make sure that they are fully, joyfully engaging in this world, that I would actually care about the gay rights or women's rights? I believe that that's the case. That this world would be different if people chose to show up outward focused in contribution, moment to moment. And that I can foresee a time where there are no natural disasters because there are no breakdowns in relationships. The world doesn't have to shake it up to wake us up. I look forward to that day. It's possible.
It's totally possible.
So what does it take, Melissa? Speak for the audience. What is it going to take for us to wake up and truly experience peace, not only in our relationships, but in this world and in nature in our lifetime?
I just had this picture in my mind of all the energy that we feed into Mother Earth, and her taking it on and taking it on and taking it on, and then that energy has to go somewhere. And so it results in these things, these tsunamis, these earthquakes, these other natural disasters.
Which we could just say natural events.
Yeah.
Like volcanoes and what have you.
It's the same as wars. What did I do to create this? People tend to think of those things as acts of God. Well, who in you or what in you created this? What part of you created that earthquake to happen? What energy did you feed the world? What energy did you feed this universe to create that? And I am fully accountable.
It's time that we wake up. We have something to do with it.
Yeah.
That breakdowns in our relationships are energy feeding into this world, and it's going to show up somewhere else. Mm-hmm. I get that if we as individuals showed up outward focused in service, in really caring about serving the people we're in relationship with, the United States would show up differently as a country in relationship to the world.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be out there with armies fighting. We'd be out there with armies serving. That our peacekeeping efforts wouldn't involve guns. It would involve shovels and hammers.
Wow, that's a huge thought. If our U.S. Army, if that's what it looked like.
What if the U.S. Army was out there serving, not fighting? We'd probably choose to be in different areas of the world. That's for damn sure. Because going into the Middle East for peace sounds like serving us some oil. Because they certainly weren't unstable there until we started being in the oil trade with them.
Yeah.
They seemed to be perfectly content.
And even, how much different would they view us being there if we were there to serve and bring peace? They'd be like, bring it. Come on. We would love your assistance. We would love. And then what would it look like for them to be over here? It'd be